Hi everyone, so welcome to another continuation on lesson 5, which is rational algebraic equations transformable to quadratic equation. Okay? So, ano kayang nasa video na to? Ready? Let's go. Okay, so meron tayong question dito. Familiar? Sige, tingnan natin. How long does it take to finish your job? Okay, read and understand the situation below, then answer the questions that follow. Okay, here. Familiar ba? Yes po, ito yung pinaka-synchronous activity nyo nung Tuesday, nung isang araw. So, what we're going to do is discuss natin. Ito yung reason why you have your deadlines earlier. Para at least tapos na kayo before my discussion. Okay, so basahin ko muna yung sinagot nyo as a group. So, it takes Carol 3 hours more to do a job than it takes Mary. If they work together, they can finish the job in 2 hours. How long does it take Mary working alone to do the job? Okay? So, masasagot natin tong problem na to maybe by answering the different questions na given. So, unang tanong, if Mary can finish the job in X hours, how many hours will it take Carol to do the same job alone? Eh, di ba sabi dito, meron tayong statement dito. Ang sabi, it takes Carol 3 hours more. So, kung si Mary is X, so ano ba yung more? Plus. So, meaning si Carol is X plus 3. Diba? That's the answer for number 1. Tingnan natin kung anong sagot naman, ano naman yung question number 2. Here is question number 2. How would you represent the amount of work that Mary can finish in 1 hour? Okay, di ba sabi kanina Mary is X. So, kung 1 hour, yung rate niya is of course 1 over X. Yun. Nilagay lang natin sa ilalim si X. Okay? So, yung Mary. How about Carol? So, ganun din. Di ba X plus 3 yung Carol natin kanina. So, lagay natin siya sa baba. That's 1 over X plus 3. Okay, ready for question number 3? Here we go. Question number 3. If they work together, what equation would represent the amount of work they can finish in 1 hour? So, if they work together, from that word together, so parang i-add natin yung rate ni Mary, i-add natin sa rate ni Carol equals, balik tayo dun sa ating statement. Sabi sa statement natin, if they work together, they can finish the job in 2 hours. So, yung 2, kagaya ng rate ni Mary, tsaka kagaya ng rate ni Carol, yung 2, dapat nasa baba din. So, dito, equals 1/2. Okay. So, ang sabi, what equation? So, dapat tanggalin na lang natin yung Mary equals, Carol equals, together equals, tanggalin natin silang lahat, equals, meron tayong equation na 1 over X from Mary plus 1 over X plus 3 from Carol equals 1/2 when they work together. Okay, so yan na yun. Question number 4. How would you describe the equation formulated in number 3? Hala, ano daw to? Anong klaseng equation to? Tapos na natin to. Okay, so this is rational algebraic equation. Yun. How would you solve the equation formulated? What mathematics concepts and principles are you going to use? Tapos na nating discuss yung rational algebraic equation. So, what we're going to do is just to transform the equation into quadratic equation. Transform lang natin. Tapos, ano yung mga processes? So, siguro sa number 6 na natin makikita. Diba? Balikan natin yung process ng transforming or solving rational algebraic equation which are transformable to quadratic equation. Solve the problem na yung number 6. So, solve na natin gamit ang itong principle na to. Okay? Alright, so how do we solve the problem? So, balik tayo sa solving rational algebraic equation, transformable to quadratic equation. So, from number 3, we created this equation. So, what is our LCM? Okay, wala siyang common, so multiply lang natin lahat. So, we have 2x and x plus 3. Yun. Multiply both sides of the equation by that. So, anong gagawin? So, anong nangyari here? So, what we did is just to divide nito. Ito yung ating LCM. Divide natin with the first denominator na x. Okay, so dividing by x. So, we have to cancel out x. So, yung naiwan is 2 tsaka x plus 3, which is ito yun. Okay? Then, the numerator na 1, so that's times 1. Yan. Okay. Erase lang muna natin. And then, we'll do the same thing for the second term. For the second term, ganun din yung gagawin. Divide natin itong LCD, wait lang. So, wala ng ink. Okay, divide all by this x plus 3. So, x plus 3. Okay, so, very clear. Kaya natin siyang i-cancel out yung x plus 3. Yung naiwan is 2x. Kaya meron tayong 2x dito. Same, multiply by the numerator of 1. So, meron tayong 1 dito. Okay? So, next is of course yung nasa equal sign na part. So, same process. Tanggal muna natin to. Okay? So, nasa equal sign na part, ganun din, divide, kasi meron siyang denominator. So, divide all by the denominator na 2. Tapos, pwede mo siyang i-cancel out yung 2 na nandyan. So, yung naiwan is x and x plus 3 and multiply by 1 pa rin yung ating ito. Okay. So, yan. Then, simplify. 2x, 2 times x plus 3 is equal to, distribute lang, 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6. Ganun din dito, 2x times 1 is 2x. So, yan. And then here, x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x. And then you can now combine like terms, transpose, tapos, combine like terms para you can write this in standard form. And pag nag-perform ka, pag nag-add ka, combine ka, nag-transpose, you'll come up with x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0 na pwede mong isolve using factoring. Okay, sige nga, i-factor out. Pause lang muna, then factor. Did you get this one? X minus 3 and x plus 2 are the factors of this x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. Kaya na nating isolve yung problem. Okay, so we have separate the factors into, so we have x minus 3 equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0. From here, transpose na to solve for x, so we have x equals 3. Now, on the other side, when we transpose 2, bakit discarded? Because when we transpose 2 to the other side, it will become negative 2. And when our question is on time, automatic, walang negative na time. So, that is why discarded siya. So, negative 2 cannot be an answer to our problem. Discarded. Hindi siya pwede. Okay, so proceed tayo with the question. Diba sabi, how many hours will Mary do the job alone? So, 3 hours. E, paano kung i-ask Carol? So, di ba Carol is 3 hours more. So, therefore, Carol's time is 6 hours. Okay? Yan yung sagot sa problem na asynchronous activity nyo. Okay? So, another problem from here. Yung title naman is Let's Paint the House. So, here's the problem. Jesse and Mark are planning to paint the house together. Jesse thinks that if he works alone, it would take him 5 hours more than the time Mark takes to paint the entire house. Working together, they can complete the job in 6 hours. If Mark can finish the job in M hours, how long will it take Jesse to finish the job? So, unang step, kagaya nung first problem, represent the given. And the given was, let's take it from the representation given. If Mark, this statement, if Mark can finish in M hours, so we're going to have Mark equals M. Ngayon, because it states here that Jesse thinks that if he works alone, it would take him 5 hours more than the time that Mark takes. Okay, so si Jesse will be M plus 5 since 5 hours more siya. Okay, next step. Represent the amount of work in 1 hour. So, lagay lang natin yung M tsaka M plus 3 below. Okay? Gawin lang natin silang denominators. Next is to create the equation. To create the equation, ganun, kagaya nung kay Mary and, sino ba yun, Carol, add lang natin. So, Mark is 1 over M. Add natin si Jessie na 1 over M plus 5. Tapos, meron tayong statement from here na working together, they can finish the job in 6 hours. Lagay din natin siya sa ilalim. Okay, so together we have 1 over 6. Pag-isahin natin, tanggalin natin si Mark, Jessie, and yung word na together. So, we're going to have an equation na 1 over M plus 1 over M plus 5 equals 1 over 6, in which pwede na natin isolve using the concept of solving rational algebraic equations transformable to quadratic equation. Okay, so from the rational algebraic equation that we have created, what is the, how do you call this? What is the LCM? So, walang common, so it will be 6M and M plus 5. Okay, multiply it to both sides of the equation. So, here, 6M times M plus 5. So, divide natin by our first denominator na M. Okay, so pwede natin siyang tanggalin. So, we have 6. Kaya meron tayong 6 and M plus 5 na naiwan. So, it's here. And then, of course, times 1. This is coming from our numerator. Okay? Do the same for the second term. Yung 1 over M plus 5 naman. Ganun din. Divide mo by M plus 5 yung LCM. So, dividing this by M. Here. M plus, wait lang, ang hirap, wait, M plus 5 equals, maka-cancel out mo yung M plus 5. So, yung naiwan is only 6M, kaya meron tayong 6M na multiply sa 1 na numerator. Okay? Then, of course, sa last, ganun din, same process sa last part. So, multiply or divide muna the LCM with 6. So, tanggal yung 6. So, yung naiwan na lang is yung M tsaka M plus 5 times 1 sa numerator. Nakalimutan na yung 1 dito. Pero okay lang yan. Okay? Next is to simplify. So, multiply lang. So, 6 times M is 6M. 6 times 5 is 30. Yun. 6M times 1 is 6M. Then here, M times M is m squared. Then m times 5 is 5m. Then you can now combine like terms, transpose, para you can have your standard form. So the standard form, if pause nyo muna, tapos gawin nyo, transpose, combine like terms. Did you come up with m squared minus 7m minus 30 equals 0? If yes, then magaling na. Alright, so we can solve this one. This is again factorable. So factor this out. Okay, so the factors are m minus 10 and m plus 3. Separate natin yung factor. So, separate natin sila. So, we have m minus 10 equals 0, m plus 3 equals 0. So, solve muna natin yung m minus 10. So, m equals 10. Yung m plus 3, pag nag-transpose tayo ng 3 to the other side, will become negative. Eh, di ba nga, walang negative na time. So, this is discarded. So, yung M, ito yung time ni Mark, which is 10 hours, to finish painting the house alone. And then, si Jessie, in which 5 hours more man si Jessie. So, 10 plus 5 equals Jessie is 15 hours. Okay? So, problem solved. Okay. Paano ba yung solving rational algebraic equation? So, kung halimbawa wala siyang problem, mas madali. First is, just look for the LCM. So, if we have 1 over 3x plus 4x over 6 equals 1, so, find LCM, 3x and 6. So, parang, what's the LCM? Common na yung 3. So, we have 6x. Okay? So, 6x tayo, divide. So, simplify tayo dito. Divide muna. So, 6x divided by, wait. Okay? So, 6x divided by our first denominator na 3x. Okay? So, cancel out natin yung x. Then, divide 6 by 3. That's 2. Okay? Times it with our numerator na 1. So, that's 2 times 1. Then, here, same process. Erase muna. Wait lang. Same process. So, we will divide 6x, the LCM, with the second denominator, which is 6. So, eliminate or cancel out 6. So, meron tayong x na naiwan. And then, multiply it with our numerator of 4x. Alright? So, since we do not have a denominator after the equal sign, so we just multiply 1 by our LCM. Okay? Next step is to simplify. 2 times 1 is 2. So, dito galing yan. 2 times 1 is 2. Then, x times 4x is 4x squared. And then, 1 times 6x is 6x. Write this in standard form. You will have 4x squared minus x plus 2. Is this factorable? Mahirap i-factor. So, pwede ka proceed with reducing this first into 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Anong nangyari? Divide 4x squared minus 6x plus 2 equals 0 by 2 since divisible naman siya. So, meron tayong reduced form. So, yung reduced form, ito na yung isa-solve natin by, pwede ka factoring or dito pwede ka quadratic formula. Ikaw nang bahala kung anong mas easier. So, here, I'm using factoring. So, you can also check if this is really these are really the correct factors. So, we have negative 1 times x, negative x, 2 times negative 1, negative 2. Sakto na yan. Okay? So, separate each factors. So, we have 2x minus 1 equals 0 and x minus 1 equals 0. Okay? So, when you transpose negative 1, so here, when you transpose negative 1, so it will become positive 1. And then since may 2 pa siya beside x, so Divide mo both sides, so that is why makukuha mo dyan is 1/2. And then here, si negative 1, pag transpose mo, so that is positive 1. Okay? Proceed with checking. Kasi hindi naman siya irrational root. Bakit kailangang mag-checking? Because maybe there are so we have the so-called, what is that? Extraneous root. Okay? So, yun. Your understanding of equations transformable to quadratic equation, this is your asynchronous activity. Alright? So, answer the following. So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and sa 4, meron tayong A and B. Okay? So, I hope you know how to do this. So, this will be all for this video. Bye-bye.